And that's the thing. That's the other thing that's crazy about this. Why we were just talking about two of the best Ikes in the game right now are Yez and Ravenking, both in this bracket. You're getting the same thing here with Colonies and Skittles, both in this bracket as well. And here we go. We're going to get started on this PS2. Ravenking versus Colonies. Let's see what happens.
Yep, let's get right down to business. We have small battlefield, but you know, Pokemon Stadium 2 is still the natural starter. That platform height is just, I think it's easier for, especially for Ike, to chase and get like higher vertical setups into up air right off of these platforms. They're just a little bit higher. It's going to help you kill off the top easier. You can say the same thing about Young Link as well.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I feel like the platforms in general just help Young Link kind of build into so many other combos. Like I know, for instance, Colonies here, outside the platforms, one of the combos he really loves looking for, and he lands very consistently, is he'll get that forward air 1 into a down tilt, right into an up tilt, and it turns into so much damage or potentially a kill scenario. So definitely be on the lookout for that. And right now, man, Colonies is making it work. Got 124, but like we said earlier, you got to be careful how much percent you start putting on other characters, because eventually Young Link will struggle to kill, so we'll see how Colonies has to work around that. But the Aether is actually going to catch Colonies and take that first stock from Ravenking with the early lead.
That Aether, man, it's just such a... That's the thing is, you know, Colonies wants to set up a lot with landing area. You said, like, landing fair 1. If you can just get that one particular hit, it's a small hit, but it leads to so much. And then just stuffing that with the anti-air Aether that has super armor built into it, right? That's just going to be so effective for Ravenking.
Yeah, and then shout outs there to Colonies as well, taking that stock right back, but Ravenking getting a good bit of extra credit on that before losing that stock. Right now he's got Colonies at 73%. Gonna get that Aether, gonna get the extra hit too. And man, that Aether knockback buff was probably the craziest thing out of that 8.0 patch, which is absolutely insane. And just leading that Nair into the up air to take that second stock, only sitting at 11%. It's safe to say that Ravenking is making a hell of a run in game 1.
Yeah, this is real good stuff for Ravenking to open up this second stock. And again, he's just setting up stuff with anti-airs. And this time, actually, not only did he get the anti-air, he actually got the exact setup I was talking about that Colonies was looking for, right? He's just looking for that one particular hit of the fair 1. Is Ravenking got like the hit in Nair that was like way under his feet. And that's the only reason that up air connected afterwards. It was really slick to see.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, this has been a couple times now. Colonies has got to work on getting a few other options going here. He's been caught twice using his hero spin and getting punished with the Aether from Ravenking. And here we go, man. Ravenking starting to put some pressure on Colonies, getting towards the edge of the stage. Up throw to the forward air. Colonies sitting at 94. He's got to be careful because he will be dying very soon if Ravenking can find his connections.
Yeah, I think like a tipper down tilt should lead to a KO here. That back air actually even almost hitting the far blast zone from center of Pokemon Stadium. Oh, but here's some Colonies confirms you're talking about.
Yep.
Just not quite enough in the tank there in order to get the second stock down. And that just means that Aether will shut the door. Ravenking goes up 1 zip to start off this set.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that Aether would have killed if Ike didn't have rage, but we did see that he was at 138, so he had quite a bit of rage stacked onto him. Either way, strong move, gonna clear out that game, or not clear out, but secure that game 1 as Ravenking goes up 1-0, like you said. What game plan do you think Colonies needs to start implementing here to find a way to turn this around? Because game 1 looked very, very solid in Ravenking's favor.
You got to find a way, and this is actually going to feed right into Ravenking's bans. He bans the long stages horizontally, right? Final Destination and Kalos Pokemon League. You got to find a way to create horizontal space. Like, Young Link isn't the fastest character in the ground, but he's still faster than Ike. So if you got a little room to run and just set up boomerangs and bombs, that's kind of how you can make Ike's life just a little bit harder in these matchups. But you don't have much speed, so you just need as much space as you can get. And the problem is, when you run out of space, that's where Ravenking's been winning the neutral interactions and creating a great advantage state for himself. So just be a little bit more comfortable in the corner and find a little bit more space. So I think we might see like a town here. That would be my best guess.
I think we'll definitely see a town here. I know Colonies absolutely loves that stage. He will take it every chance he can. And like you said, I mean, it's not on the ban list, so I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we go there. But Ravenking likes that stage too. I mean, he's got those platforms, so if he can find those Aethers to really kind of lead them onto one of those platforms, especially on those side ones when they're very elevated, that leads to very, very early stocks. But again, the problem becomes when those platforms disappear, and there we are, so we're going to see that confirmed down in City. But yeah, when those platforms disappear, it does turn into that Final Destination type stage that Ravenking's going to have to find a way to, you know, weave in and out between these projectiles that Colony's going to be throwing all over the place.
Yeah, so there's some interesting thoughts about like counterpick theory, right? Do you want to pick something that's positive for your character or pick something that's negative for your opponent's character? And I feel like Colonies is making the right call here by picking just to his character's advantage, not necessarily like Ravenking's disadvantage. Yes, I can get some crazy kills off of the side platforms on town, but you just need to know to play around that and then take the advantages the stage gives you instead. So let's see if Colin can make this platform layout convert into a W for the Young Link Extraordinaire.
Yeah, no, he definitely loves using these platforms to kind of build up some of those combos, especially what he's going to be looking for is trying to get Ravenking on those side platforms, the elevated ones, because he will be looking for possibly a grab, a bomb into that hero's spin, and those side blast zones being so close can end those stocks super early. So, I mean, I know Ravenking's going to know that that's what Colony's going to be looking for. He's got plenty of experience with the young links in these brackets. So both these guys are going to be finding all sorts of way to play around each other on this town and city stage. I am excited to see how this game 2 will go. Yeah,
the key for Ravenking might be controlling tempo from coming down from the platform. And he was really effective at that in the first game on Pokemon Stadium, right? They both want to get a lot of things started with those falling aerials, especially Ike. And it's easier for Ike to get things started because with his falling aerials are bigger. But still, you need to understand like the perfect fast fall timing. You know, Smash is a game of tempo, right? So if you know exactly when someone's going to drop from the platform, it doesn't matter if they have the biggest sword in the world. If their sword's half stage long, you can still just snipe them out of it if you understand exactly when they're going to drop. So controlling the timing has been a big deal for Ravenking, especially because you need to be so deliberate with Ike.
Right. And especially when you got Young Link on the stage as well, using that boomerang, using those fire arrows. Those fire arrows, I swear, are some of the most lethal things. They don't necessarily kill, but they lead into so much for Young Link. And I know Colonies has every intention of abusing those as much as possible. Here we go. Hot start. 30%.
Yeah, just immediate double fair. I thought Ravenking actually had re-grabbed the ledge there, which could have been an opportunity to like down tilt for Colonies, but no, it wasn't a re-grab. Really interesting corner position that Colonies has set up here, and now he's gonna put the bomb in that spot. Okay, the unexpected roll, you do neutral get up into roll back. It sounds like something that, you know, like you do day one of Wi-Fi on your way to Elite Smash, right? But even in this kind of context, that can be unexpected.
Oh my god, and Colony's just absolutely tearing Ravenking apart here, 101% unanswered. This is the type of comfort that he likes, and there's what I'm talking about, that forward air 1 to the down tilted hero spin. Not going to secure the stock, but 150, you know Ravenking's going to be dying here very soon.
But he somehow stayed alive, and this is not Smash 4 Town, right? Because Town now has further away, especially on the top blast zone. There's plenty of room for Ravenking to DI out of that situation. And now, all of a sudden, you're facing down Max Rage Ravenking, and that confirm you worked so hard to get didn't quite land, and the Ravenking can now turn the tables right here if Colin can't get out of this corner. Okay, the high fall into the down air really helped out Colin.
Yeah, you were absolutely right. Like, yeah, that was an amazing opening, but now the fact that you couldn't get the kill and we have a Max Rage Ike is such a scary position to be in. And right now, he's slowly bringing it back. He just will not die. Colonies just cannot find the answer to close this out. And this is a very scary spot to be in.
200%, but forward throw, not quite enough to take the stock. And again, just all the way across the stage, you just have so much room to DI here. I'm scared for him. Okay, he's alive.
Oh, but is he? Okay, he still is. This is going to be a very big momentum killer for Colonies if he cannot take the stock before Ravenking. This is just such a crazy spot to be in. What an amazing quick draw dropping through that platform, though.
I thought that turnaround Aether actually had just obliterated Colin's stock. I was really scared for the man, but everyone's living until I just said everyone's living. That's the commentator's curses. The up tilt will just completely cancel out that full hop from Colin. You take the stock. 200% on Ike.
Yeah, let's hope that Colonies can just, you know, get his nerves together here, find a way to take this stock, because, like, that's such a discouraging position to be in. You get your opponent to 209%, and then they just bring it back slowly to take that stock before you, after you open them up with 150 unanswered. Crazy situation to be in, but he's gonna find that stock, I believe, with a down smash there, and but got 63% extra credit for Ravenking. We'll have to see how these two are gonna develop their game plans from here.
Ravenking has this like master plan where he turn around Aethers off the stage there, and that's the second time it hasn't worked. But like you see what he's going for, where he tries to get the scoop up, drag both characters onto the stage, and then get the landing hit. which would just completely obliterate a person. Because again, that move got its knockback growth buffed by like 65 units or something in that patch.
Something absolutely insane. And I know that's something he's put some work into because he actually dropped a whole tournament one time to Skittles doing that same exact scenario, the turnaround Aether to land on the stage. He actually ended up being his final stock for the bracket one time, and it was just an awful situation to be in. But here we go. Colony's starting to get a little bit going here, but we're getting to that scary percentage. Okay, never mind. We're not going to have to worry about getting past the 150 and just not finding a kill on Ravenking. Colony's looking pretty good right now. Looks like they got their confidence back. Let's see how they can bring in this game too.
Aether not going to do the job this time. Good shield coming out from Colonies. And he's going to put on this corner pressure that you need to versus Ike. Ooh, and I think if the Colin had read I think if he read the early double jump there and hit the boomerang, he actually could have just ended this game. But instead going for the low read.
Oop, here we go. Yeah, good little boomerang right there. Just continue to put some pressure, build up some damage on Ravenking. Colony's looking very strong, looking like in a very good position right here. And no, definitely waited just a little too long, I think. They knew that the air dodge was coming out, but unfortunately Ravenking is going to get that forward tilt to close out that second stock. And we kind of seen a position like this before on that first stock. Let's see if Colonies can find a way to win.
I mentioned a little bit of Ravenking's Smash 4 Ike experience, and those tomahawk situations are absolutely something he brings from his Smash 4 game, where he would go for those empty full hops in and then go for a grab or go for the forward tilt as we saw here to end that stock.
It's funny that as you were talking about tomahawk, he actually dropped one of those. But we're going to see Colonies close out that game 2, taking that final stock, I believe, with the down tilt to the up air. Super good stuff. One apiece. This is what I like to see in these type of tournaments. You're getting to the end of it. This is where everything gets a lot more competitive. Hopefully, we're going to start seeing a lot of game 5s here, because that would just be the absolute best case scenario for me, and I'm pretty sure for the viewers at home as well.
Oh, absolutely. You love to see a back and forth set. And like 3-0s, yeah, sure. They're entertaining sometimes, especially when they're like, absolute slobber knockers. But you love to see the competition, especially between these two players who have been really on the up and up in these past couple of months. Like, you love to see the adaptations between the two. This is definitely like the big ticket match of these winners round 1s in the top 16. So I'm happy to be here. Happy to be casting this with you, buddy. It's so far so good. It's living up to the expectation.
Yeah, for sure. No, I mean, this is one of my favorite things about doing commentary in general is the amount of different people I get to work with. This is my first time working with you so far. I love what you're saying. You're definitely very experienced in this game.
I just had time to ruin that, so let's knock on wood.
Well, I mean that is true, but like I mean, I don't know. It's one of my favorite things. I love talking about the game in general, and having these two great players, especially not just in the Midwest, but in the world in general. And I get to talk about this. I mean, I count my blessings here. And this is definitely
Smash is a beautiful game, and I love casting with folks who appreciate how beautiful a game this is. So it's been fun. Quick bracket update before we get into game number 3, as Battlefield and Smashville are banned by Colonies. We have Ned taking the 3-1 victory over Noodle, and Atada taking 3-0 victory over Gromp, the Mega Man player, and Apollo Kage taking the 3-0 victory over Starman. So we have 3 people already locked into the winners quarterfinals of this tournament.
Captain Remix taking it 3-0 over Daybreak as well.
Now, I said it. Actually, might have been before we started the stream. I said upset watch on that. If it was before we started the stream, I definitely look like I'm bragging for no reason at all.
He did. No. I can bear witness. He definitely mentioned that this was an upset watch, and boy, you nailed it. A 3-0 over Daybreak. Daybreak, number 1 in Michigan, right?
Very highly ranked in Michigan. I don't think he's eclipsed Zanotto yet, when Zanotto does show up to tournaments. Yeah. But we will get to see a little bit of Captain Remix later on in this bracket. Let's get to Yoshi's story for game number 3.
This is going to be a very interesting game. We got these triplats, which just gives actually both these characters so much to work with. I think it is slightly in favor of Ravenking here, despite the fact that we're seeing that early percentage lead from Colonies. Because with Ike, especially that nair and that forward air, he can control so much of that center area, forcing his opponent to have to like play on the platforms. And that's what he wants. He wants you to go to those platforms so he can extend those combos. And the smaller blast zones, you're going to be dying super early. So, I mean, Colonies has got to play this immaculately, because this will absolutely fall apart for him very quickly.
This is the situation we've now seen 3 games in a row, right, where Colonies gets up a bunch of percent. Let's see if he can close it out this time. Oh, just barely off the mark on that forward air in the corner.
Yeah, no, that was some very good stuff from Ravenking, and that 8th are gonna put on quite a bit of damage, but just giving them stage control is so important here. And there we go, we're gonna see that Nair almost got the back air, which probably could have closed out that stock. We got a full rage Ike on the screen. We're on Yoshi's. I wouldn't be surprised if Colinies died super soon. And there we go, getting that Nair to the up air to close it out.
What a brilliant, and another Tomahawk set that up there, Skiff. Notice that Ravenking doing the empty hops in once, twice, forces the blink from Colin on that top platform, and that's where Young Links go to die. But you know what? Young Links got an answer right back in the corner to even up this game, 2 stocks apiece.
Absolutely, and just trying to see like where these two players are going to go from here, because like that's what I want to see though. When I see a player lose a stock, I want them to come back and take that stock back immediately. Just let them know, hey man, I don't care that you got that early lead. I'm still in this. You can't just be coasting quite yet.
That's definitely the sign of a competitive set, right? Is when you don't really see laps on any particular stock, or even like a little bit extra credit at all. So good stuff from both these players so far. As this second stock is so far much more even than the start of the first.
Yeah, and I just want to point that out again. I know you talked about Ravenking's Tomahawks earlier. He is so good at finding the right spots to put them in, but never mind. I was talking about the wrong player there. I should have been talking about Colinies that whole time. That was a beautiful string to take that second stock away.
That is something we didn't really mention too much, right? That we probably should have mentioned more, but because it's harder to do in practice than it is on paper, but it's punish Ike's recovery. But look at how Colin just put all those projectiles in the perfect spot to stop the quick draw to the ledge, which is the easiest get-out-of-jail option for Ike in that situation. But intercepted brilliantly there by Colinies.
I mean, that just goes to show the experience that Colinies has. He's been facing top Ike after top Ike repeatedly in these online events. So to kind of know how to snipe out that recovery, that quick draw that so many Ikes are going to be going for, that just goes to show, hey, I've got the experience. I know how to stop it. You got to be a little more precise if you want to get back on this stage, buddy.
Okay, trying to sneak to that top platform, but Colinies is there to intercept, and this might be it. Yes, wow, what an air dodge read from Colinies. I know I was thinking he was going to go for the up air after that hero spin on the platform, and then Ravenking must have been thinking it too, because that's why the air dodge showed excellent patience from Colinies to take the 2-1 lead.
Yeah, no, it was a beautiful game right there. That the Yoshi story pick from Ravenking, it was looking pretty good, but Colinies found the right opportunities to just turn that up to another level and actually took the counter pick. So now he's sitting at a 2-1 spot here, 2-1 advantage, 1 win away from taking on Apollo Kage in the winners quarterfinals. We'll have to see what stages we're going to see next here for Ravenking, because this is a tough spot to be in. I think he can still do this. We saw him win game 1 in a pretty dominant fashion, I thought. Just Colinies is responding very, very well to it. It looks like we're going to be going right back to Yoshi's. I don't think this is a bad pick. He got caught in that weird scenario with that quick draw, like you mentioned earlier. If he could just find a way to not get caught up quite like that, I think he'll be just fine.
Ravenking is confident in Yoshi's story. There's some people who, myself included, that find this stage to be pretty volatile, right? Because sometimes like you can just get hit by the confirm in that one spot where you really shouldn't have and you just die. But Ravenking really likes to feed into that fear that other people have of the stage. At Frostbite, when he played Stroder and Losers, he actually took Stroder to Yoshi's story twice, and well, it's Stroder on Yoshi's story, so obviously he didn't lose. But that just shows how confident Ravenking is in this stage pick.
Yeah, no, I mean, and I think that's a lot of things. Like, yes, there are certain stages you want to take certain characters to, but I think something that goes just a little further sometimes is your comfort in certain stages. Like right here, we can see Ravenking, even though he just lost in this stage, he's putting on some pressure here. He's getting some good damage. He's finding those hits to put Colinies in some pretty scary spots. So as long as you're comfortable on a stage and you think you can play a stage against a character very, very well, that's all you need to get this game going.
Credit to Colinies. He actually could have died in like 1 or 2 of those positions, and now he's actually going to be able to turn the situation all the way around as he gets the down tilt up B confirm, blowing up Ravenking off the side, clearing all that rage. And this is, I think, the first time that Colinies has had like the first stock lead, even though he has a 2-1 game set lead. Like, this is Colinies' first stock lead. Well, and then as soon as I'm talking about it, there's that setup. The third time's the charm there for Ravenking as he gets the off-stage Aether to blow up a Young Link recovery.
He's definitely been scouting that a couple times. We saw in Town and City earlier, and finally getting it to work to take that stock away, evening things up just a little bit, but there's a bit of percentage difference. Now 2% in his direction, but I mean, it's not a game of percentages, it's a game of stocks.
Indeed, and it's a game of recoveries. Okay, Ravenking, I was a little worried for him there, again, after how precise Colinies was on the recovery in the last game. but able to sneak by with the quick draw. And that's why we say it's so much harder to punish Ike's recovery in practice, because they sped it up and they like, he has so much super armor on the Aether going low that it's hard to even deal with it that way. Like, he has a very linear recovery, but it's hard to intercept.
Right. Here we go. Scary spot to be in for Colonies. Gonna find a way out the back to stage, but it doesn't matter. Ravenking will continue his assault as he hunts down Colonies, just continuing to put down this pressure, bullying him till he takes a second stock. What a beautiful string from Ravenking.
Man, even when that down air doesn't spike, it still just blows you up.
Right? It's the worst case scenario. You're like, okay, cool, he didn't spike me. I still died off the top. Okay, that's fine.
If you say so, Yoshi Story. If you say so.
For sure. But here we go. We got to see how Colonies can answer back here. He's taken a lot of extra credit, not finding a way to take out the second stock on this fight. As Ravenking forces his way to a game 5, despite what Colonies would like. He said, you took my counterpick on Yoshi's Story in that game 3, but game 4 is mine. You will see me at least one more time. Beautiful stuff.
Colonies has done some tricky, like, ledge regrab, boomerang bomb shenanigans, or like B-reverse fire arrow shenanigans at the ledge. And I feel like that's Ravenking saying, you're not going to fool me with one of those again, right? I know to wait those out, and if you regrab the ledge, like, you're going to pay. That is exactly the statement Ravenking needed to make on those type of corner shenanigans Colonies likes to pull, going into a game 5 specifically.
Right. Yeah, no, I mean, but this is where winners are made. It's that game 5 situation. The winner moves on to the next round. Again, both of these players super capable of winning this whole bracket. So, I mean, like, the winner of this might end up just being in grand finals. Like, that's how important this game is. And it's only winners round 1. We still have at least 4 or 3 more rounds until grand finals. So, I mean, that's just like how crazy and how talent packed the Midwest is. Like, it's absolutely insane. It blows my mind.
This is going to be a highlight for sure. I'm excited to see how these two competitors stack up on Town and City. Looks like it's going to be going back to Town and City for game number 5. And Colinies won on Town and City, right? Is there a DSR in this rule set?
Well, his last win was on Yoshi's, so
then it would be modified. No DSR at all.
No DSR at all. Okay. Good stuff. But yeah, no, Town and City, again, a wonderful stage for both of these characters. Both these guys feel so confident here. I'm actually happy that we're getting a game 5 situation here, because you're going to see both these guys probably trying to pull out all the stops. They're going to be doing as much as they can to take the victory here. Just trying to get all of their best options. Maybe even a couple of mix-ups that we haven't seen yet. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, both of them definitely have tricks up their sleeve they haven't pulled out in this particular set yet. So, and I know that specifically from my Chicago experience, commenting a lot of Ravenking. So we'll have to see how it shakes up. I imagine both players are comfortable on the stage, even though there is no DSR here to aid Ravenking on the Town and City win the Colonies already has. I'm sure even if there was DSR, he would have allowed this pick.
Yeah, I mean, it did come down to a last stock scenario. I don't know if it was like a last hit, but Colonies did win that pretty solidly, I think, for the most part. But yeah, right now it's very even at the moment. We're going to see that slight percentage lead from Colonies as it continues to put a lot of pressure on that platform, but Ravenking just having the nerves of steel to not get too caught up in the situation there, to be able to find a way back to the center platform and just continue to really bring the fight.
Okay, both putting some real big glancing blows across the shields of each other here. Ravenking still really wanting to go for those tomahawks. I'm thinking Colonies is a little bit more wise to it than he was at the start of the set.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's definitely a very big part of the game for Ravenking. Is he's so talented at finding those tomahawks, like you brought up before. So it's good on Colonies to try to play a little more passive, but that up air almost being enough to take out that first stock, and Colonies responding back with a down air of his own. This is getting crazy.
And another tomahawk into the up tilt, not quite enough to kill. Town City again having a much higher ceiling than it did in the past. Everyone's staying alive in the early going of this one. Woo! Down throw, yeah, down throw I guess is the option here for Ravenking. Not enough to kill though.
Oh, and gonna get that Aether once again. We saw him try for it twice, and the first time they were at Town and City, but finally getting it here. We saw him take it at Yoshi's as well, but it doesn't matter. Colony's gonna come down, get that forward throw to secure that stock. Now we're sitting at 2 stocks apiece. Man, these guys definitely want this win. Neither of them want to go to loser's bracket. But I don't have to say that. We should all know.
Okay, big combo opportunity for Colonies as he takes Ravenking all the way across the base platform. And again, this final destination layout is what Colonies wants to use to his advantage. See? Look at this. No platform to hide for Ravenking.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage there as Colonies continues to open Ravenking up. Ravenking going to get a couple small breaks here. But man, we got those platforms on the side, but still, it just kind of makes it more like a Kalos, which is still kind of similar to what Colonies really wants anyway. But these platforms could turn into some really scary tech chase and 2-kill scenarios. So let's see what these guys got in store.
Okay, no forward air for Colonies, which certainly would have taken the stock, but you still take the dash attack and the stage position for your troubles here. Ooh, okay, scary spot for Colonies. Ooh, okay. I was worried about the Young Link there.
Yep. Oh, he knew that downer was going to come out and spaced it just well enough to get that forward tilt to secure that second stock. We got Ravenking at 150, and this is what happened, I think, the last time we were in Town and City. We saw Colonies go for such an early opening, putting 150 unanswered, and then Ravenking just continued to open him up and punish him for everything. He cannot get back to the ground, finally to safety, but for safety, how long? It doesn't matter. As soon as King had all the advantage, Colonies finds a way to slip out of it and take a stock. Woo!
Yeah, Ravenking bit off a little more than he could chew with that chase. I think he thought the game was over the other way there on that one, but you know, I don't blame him. I absolutely would have gone for that chase myself. I'm not really good at understanding when my advantage state should stop, though. That's why these players are so far ahead, is because they know when to put up and know when to shut up.
Yeah, no, I mean, but I'm with you. I mean, it just made sense to continue hitting it. He kept landing them. But right now we're seeing Colonies finally on the offensive here, evening it up a little bit. It's a little bit in his favor, but that forward tilt, and that's going to be enough? What?
No splash screen. No, nothing of the sort. Just kind of... Maybe Colonies was holding to the right to try and like land further away from Ravenking, and then the forward tilt caught him without enough time to DI correctly?
Not sure. That's the only reasonable
I don't know about that
option,
one.
I think. But wow, Ravenking gonna take Game 5 from Colonies on Town and City. Beautiful stuff. He's gonna be moving on to take on Apollo Kage. Like, that was a crazy ending, man. But that's exactly what I like to see. I love to see that Game 5, last hit, last stock. And these two brought the heat today. Ravenking, though, just edging it out just a little bit more. So super good stuff.
Yeah, really exciting opening to this GOML Midwest qualifier. And again, there is a $1,000 prize pool on the line just for this tournament itself. For the, I'm not sure how the prize breaks out, but of course, the more you win, the more you're going to make. And well, only one player today is going to be able to make it to the final event in early November. Everyone wants to get a piece of that pie too. And so far, Ravenking gets the early advantage. Taking a Twitch chat saying that was sus DI. And Twitch chat is they're the best players in the game, obviously.